Hey, what's up, everybody? BDF44 coming at you with another video. All right, so we got some pretty big news out of Utah. Danny Ainge is now alternate governor and CEO of the Utah Jazz. This is pretty big, y'all. This is big because when I look at Danny Ainge, he's been with the Boston Celtics for many, many moons, obviously, as a player and as a coach and as a GM and now as a president. And I didn't know he had left Boston. This might be his exodus out of Boston. I didn't even think he was out of there. I know they had changed the pecking order of things, kind of moving Brad Stevens up and then moving him further up, but I didn't know he had moved out. But this is his new path. The Utah Jazz are doing some big things, man. They brought in Dwayne Wade as a co-owner last year or the year before that, and now they're bringing in Danny Ainge. They're getting a brain trust together, and I think some changes are going to be made in Utah. They're going to make some changes now. I don't know what changes they would be willing to make. I don't know if they're going to make them right away. I doubt they do anything to this roster right now. They're going to give it a shot. But I'm saying over the next 3 years, you could potentially see an overhaul in Utah with Danny Ainge coming in. Because one thing I know about Danny Ainge is he loves assets. Now, I don't know if that's a reflection upon the fact that the Celtics were trying to acquire assets, picks to be exact. But he has a reputation from hoarding picks. So you might see the Utah Jazz start that process of acquiring picks. Don't be surprised to see them make a trade to get a second-round pick or a first-round pick even, because that's kind of how Danny Ainge has been moving for the last couple of years. This is big, man. This is big. I know Danny Ainge has had some health issues with his heart over the years, but he seems to be doing pretty good over the last several years. So much continued success to his health. And I'm excited for him in regards to a new spot. You know, I don't think he's ever had any, outside energy outside of maybe Phoenix and, of course, the Boston Celtics. Those are the only two teams that I'm aware of him being associated with. So this is an exciting situation for him, obviously, and his family to get to live somewhere new, more or less, and then get to obviously have this type of job. Alternate governor. I mean, that's a big title. Oh, it's a huge title. And, of course, CEO. I mean, come on. Like, clearly he's going to have a lot of power in Utah. He's going to have a lot of say-so, to say the least. And I'm just curious to see if they're going to continue to be a team that focuses on the system that they're in. They are a system-based team, from what I understand. They obviously shoot the three ball quite a bit, rely upon their defense quite a bit, with Rudy Gobert anchoring that in the paint. I think the problem that they've been running into is that their defense hasn't been as good this year. I haven't really been following them that closely, so I don't know how Mike Conley's doing, what type of year Mitchell's having, etc. But I've always thought that they could use a little more wiggly-ish type players in their front court, particularly at that 3 and 4 spot. They got Bogdanovich there. They got some other guys, but nobody that really creates for themselves, breaks people down. I can see them going after a Brandon Ingram type in Utah to kind of assist with what it is that they do. Someone who can create a shot for themselves, somebody who can create on the fly, somebody who can dribble and break people down from an ISO standpoint. The only player that, to my knowledge, that really has that ability on that team is Donovan Mitchell, and he's going to need a running mate in that way. Now, obviously, you got Rudy Gobert on a supermax, so that does complicate things, given 2 max contracts, one being a non-shooter. So that makes it a little difficult to build the type of pieces that I'm talking about. But given the fact that this is Danny Ainge, expect them to start getting into the draft and finding those type of players. So, yeah, Dwayne Wade, Danny Ainge, Utah about to be exciting. I don't know how long it's going to take for them to become exciting, but over the next 3-4 years, I'm looking for them to turn into one of the teams that just are kind of, good but not really exciting, to a team with a bunch of flashy players that are probably going to be a new type of energy in Utah. I expect that. So, yeah, that's what I wanted to say, man. Congratulations to Danny Ainge on getting this new title and new opportunity with the Utah Jazz. All that it entails, I'm not really certain yet, but I do know this is a massive deal, and I think the Utah Jazz made a good decision for themselves, bringing in Danny Ainge. So, that's what I got to say. My name is BDL44. Thank you all for watching. Out.